One of the most debatable topics in today's society is immigration. On June 16, 2015, Trump announced his campaign for running for presidency, and the first thing he mentioned was his idea to build a southern wall by the Mexican border, which borders Mexico and America. I believe that the wall should not be built because it will put America into more debt. The wall will not stop drugs and crime, and having a wall will increase racism and segregation. Building a wall bordering Mexico and America will put America into more debt. The U.S. federal budget deficit for the fiscal year of 2019 is $985 billion. This means that the deficit will increase 18% greater than the last year. And this is without the cost of the wall. Now Trump is asking for $25 billion to build the wall. And if he gets this $25 billion to build a wall, it will only increase the deficit drastically. The big question is, who is going to pay for the wall? Raising taxes on the middle class and raising trade taxes on Mexico and China will not help the economy. Because if we raise taxes on the middle class, then they will be burdened even more to try to provide for their families. And it doesn't help that to know that people have to work so hard to give their money away to taxes for the government to build a wall on the border. In addition, if we raise taxes on Mexico and China for their products, then they will also raise taxes on American products, which will go to their country, and that will not help us as citizens because we're the ones who are using the products, and if the taxes are raised, then the prices will be raised also for those products, and that will not help us. It will only make everything harder for us. I believe that if he thinks that he would like to raise taxes, then he should raise taxes on the wealthy citizens of this country. Number 2, building a wall between Mexico and America will not stop drugs and crime. In the 1900s, the mafias began to build tunnels in New York City to carry out their criminal activities. For people who think that a wall will stop drugs, crime, and guns from happening and coming into America, you're just fooling yourself. Criminals will always, and I mean always, find a way to conduct their business, regardless of laws, law enforcement, or infrastructure. It's not going to take rocket science to figure out how to dig a tunnel between Mexico and America. And it will happen if this wall is built. And it's going to be harder to crack down on crime if it's underground because it's harder to track activities. You won't be able to see them, you won't be able to hear them. So it's just difficult, and we don't need that. We don't need more drama, more crime. Number 3. Building a wall between Mexico and America will increase racism and segregation. On August 3rd, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. gave the speech called "I Have a Dream." He was not only fighting for equal rights for African Americans, but for all minorities. This includes women who were getting paid less than men for doing the same jobs. 4 years ago, I came to this country as an international student, as an immigrant, and I can tell you it was not easy for me. Being an international student, I could not have worked off campus because that is the law. And if I worked on campus, the maximum amount of hours I was allowed to work was 20 hours. And that was not enough to pay for my expenses. So I'm just telling you that having a wall will not help human relationships between the borders. It will just encourage more segregation, and that is not what we need right now. And think about all those persons and families who are walking from Guatemala all the way through Mexico, and they're at the Mexican border, there, bordering Mexico and America. What would motivate those people to walk all that way with their little kids to come to America? I can tell you why. They want to come to America for a better life, not only for themselves, but for their kids, for their future generations. And it's not bad that they want to seek a better life. And politicians need to remember that everyone wants a better life. Everyone is in the pursuit of happiness. Before you go and cast your next vote, please, I implore that you try to imagine yourself as an immigrant trying to come to America for a better life. Not only for you, but for your future generations. If you put yourself in their shoes and understand their situations, then you will understand what I'm trying to say, that having a wall between Mexico and America will not help people, but rather hinder people's progress. Thank you.